Hello and welcome to this review of Beyond the Forbidden Forest for the Commodore 64, released by Cosmi, written by Paul Norman, who also created the original Forbidden Forest game along with Aztec Challenge. He's the one to blame for that one. Now, this game plays rather differently to the original Forbidden Forest because it uses a system called 4D Omnivision, no less. Now, what is that, I hear you ask? Well, when the game finally loads, I shall show you. It essentially allows you to move into and out of the screen as well as left to right. So that's sort of the 3D effect. And here we are. And you can see the grey stripes in the border there, which actually allow you to select where you're actually going to fire. So fire there, or now we fire and it goes up there, and so on. So I now need to remember how we actually get the game to start properly. I think it's F1. Once it does start, we will get the first enemy creature coming in. As you can see, us walking in and out of the screen itself, the actual game area. Graphically, it is it is a bit of a mess. There's no two ways about it. Here we go with the first enemy, which is always the giant scorpion. And I am in danger of getting myself mauled because I'm still trying to sort my aim out. Here we go. Missed. Run a bit further into the screen. Still can't bloody hit the thing. It is extremely tricky to get the aim right. Here we go. You know, you need to hit it, I think it's about 4 or 5 times. Now, as well as having some very blocky graphics, the music is about as subtle as a crowbar to the back of the head. I'm fairly sure the idea is to try and sound like a church organ and keep the sort of gothic horror sort of atmosphere that way. By destroying that scorpion, we've now got our first gold arrow. You need at least 4 gold arrows before you can actually go beyond the Forbidden Forest to where the Hydra and all that are. Once you're there, the gold arrows effectively are your lives. Now we have to deal with this giant worm that keeps coming up. Yeah, we've got to be careful here because for a start I think I've got my aim horribly wrong. Okay, so we got the first hit. I think with this one you can get away with hitting it just once or twice. Of course it helps if you can even see the thing. I have no idea where he's gone. This is a relatively clear area. I think we're about to see the first death scene. Oh, no, okay. Right, so I've hit him twice. I think the third time then we'll be destroying it. If, of course, I can get that third hit. There he goes. Ah. Yep. And that is game over. Because you lose. Oh, I don't know. Okay, I am able to come back. You lose half your gold arrows every time you lose a life. But seeing as I had a gold arrow, it's allowing me to continue. Now this bit goes on for what seems like an age. It's essentially just resurrecting you. Right. I think the next creature then is, yes, it's the giant sort of fly thing. This thing can be a real pain to try and hit. Just for a start, he keeps wandering away from the screen for such a long time. There he is. Where's he gone? Well, there we go. Just one hit does him. So, well, we're back to only one gold arrow because I lost the first one I got. That means that I now have to face, and I'm not even sure what this fourth creature is, but he mauls you like God only knows what, and he is possibly the most difficult one to dispatch. Here he is. Okay, first hit got him. Oh. I'll hit him again. Well, that last one was not intentional. Oh, there we go, so that's dealt with him. So that's my second gold arrow now. Would be my third if I hadn't been killed by the giant worm. Now, I'm not sure what comes next. Is it going to be the giant scorpion again, or will it be the worm again? No, it's the scorpion. Right. Well, I've already dealt with this bastard once, so hopefully I can dispatch him. Of course, it helps again if I can get the aim right. Okay, I think that's... I think I got the aim right. I just... yeah. Just actually got to hit him. Which is easier said than done. 2 shots. Damn it, didn't fire that time. There we go. Right, so that's got rid of him. That's the third gold arrow. Now, I'm feeling that means it's going to be the worm next. The time of day changes again. Yeah, here's the worm. Not even close with that one. Because if he does me in, then that's half my golden arrows gone again. Jesus, that wasn't even close. It's always that worm one that does me in. The others I can usually get. You can't skip this bit either. Okay, it's great the first time, but you know. So, back to life. And yeah, I'm down to just one gold arrow. I think that means it's going to be the giant fly thing again now. He's over here. No. Where's he gone over there? This way, firing into the screen. Thought I might have got him then. There he is. Come on, if I take too much longer he's just going to end up doing me in. Trouble is he spends so long off the screen so you can't actually see him all that well. Whoop. Oh dear, I am seriously making a meal of this one. This one should be easy. He's generally the easiest of the lot, but yeah, I'm really not doing all that well against him this time. Now he seems to be hiding away again. Can't see the bloody thing. There he is. Come on, I'm standing here waiting for you. I'm not going to run off. There he is. Oh, I thought I had him then. Now heading into night. I've taken so long to do it that it's approaching night time. There he is. This is without doubt the longest it has taken me to try and do this one, and you only have to hit him once. That one went through him. I thought I'd got it. Now he's running away from me almost. Come on, sometime today, please. I am sorely tempted to just stand there and lose my life, just so that, oh, at last. There we go, right. Well, that's how to dispatch the giant Mosquito thing in as long a time as you can possibly imagine. So that is all out now. I've only got 2, and now I've got the toughest one of the lot to deal with. Oh, okay, I hit him there, even though it was certainly not intentional. Right, I only hit him twice and got rid of him, thankfully. That's the toughest one done. That's my third golden arrow, hoping that I don't lose it. Now, like I say, you need at least 4 to go beyond the Forbidden Forest, and I don't really want to go there with only 4, but in the case of this video, to try and show as much as I can, I'll give it a try. It's assuming I actually get there. Well, it sounds like the sound has gone. Oh, because there's now a thunderstorm. Okay. Well, I've never had this happen before, but I've still got rid of him anyway. That's the 4th. Right. That means I now have the bare minimum needed to actually leave the forest and head to the underground cavern. Yep, I have 4. So let's look at heading down to the pit, the underground fortress. Now, this is the reason why this is taking a risk, is that the golden arrows are your lives, and once you run out of lives here, you're turned to stone, and that really is game over, because in order to continue, you had to reset the computer and reload it. I kid you not. So let's see how we do here once it eventually loads. So the first place you get to is the caverns, where you have a load of bats flying around and you have to take out the one specific one. After that you get the Hydra, where you have to shoot it in all 4 heads, and then finally you get the Demigorgon, I think that's what it's called, itself, which I've never been able to do. Why do I have a horrible feeling this has crashed here? Let's see if any of the keys do anything. No. Right. Well, I'm going to take it out of full screen just to see if there is anything actually happening on the emulator. So I may go silent back at desktop, so if that's the case, bear with me. Well, no, it is doing something, so it was still loading. Now here we go into the underground level. Here my golden arrows have been doubled. I forgot about that. And now we have to try and find the bats that I have to deal with. It looks like they've already gone. Well, one way to find out, that cavern behind me, oh no, hang on, I just spotted them. That cavern behind me was where the Hydra is, but we have to take out the bats before we can actually enter there. Ugh. that one orange bat is the one that I need to... Yeah, there he goes. But he moves so bloody fast that it is seriously difficult to actually hit him. Let's try and move him. Oh, hang on. Oh, I thought I got him then. Come on, I'm waiting for you now. Seems to be hiding away now that I was ready to fire. Yeah, there he goes. I have a feeling I'm going to end up taking too many hits and croak it here. This part is a real pain. I thought I took long enough to get the giant Mosquito earlier. I think I'm going to take even longer to do this one. Oh, I thought I had it then. I was never particularly great at this part, and this is the most annoying part of the game, this particular level, by quite some distance. Yeah, if I stand there with that, it almost never comes along. But it moves so damn quick that it's... Oh, there we go, I finally got it. Basically a point blank shot. Right. That means it's now time to face the Hydra, who is through here. Or maybe he's not through that one. Maybe he's through that one. Okay, where's the Hydra gone? So you're through one of these caverns, maybe he's through this one. No, maybe he's not through that one. And that's the start, so it must be the end cavern. There he is. Now, I need to time this quite well because this is bloody difficult. There we go. Right. Now I think that, okay, it hasn't taken half of them. I thought for a moment it took half your golden arrows. The end one certainly wasn't planned. That aim isn't going to be much good though. Yeah, only need to hit each head once. So I've hit the end one, so I've hit that one. But now it's the tough part, I've got to hit these central two. There we go. So how many is that I've lost? I'm now down to 4. So again I got the end one. Now I got that one. Unfortunately it doesn't allow you to sort of semi-cheat and go around the back. Ah shit, I moved too early and walked into it. I'm down to just 2. I think that means this is my last attempt. Alright, there we go. Now I can't hit anything. Okay, right, so I've got the end one again. I need to wait for this one here to fire away. There he goes. In completely the wrong place to no. That's it. That end piece of music is really about the only piece of music in the game that I think's okay. But yeah, because I lost my lives in this section, that is me turns to stone, and in order to restart the game, you would have to reboot it. You can't restart it from here. So that is basically how to play from Beyond the Forbidden Forest. So, and this is as far as I've ever got. I've never been able to get past that Hydra to the Demogorgon. So So how do I rate it? I mean, it is a very different kind of game. I mean, admittedly, graphics-wise, it's a bit and sound-wise, it's a bit as well. But gameplay-wise, I think it's I really like it. It's one of those games where I think it's one that really polarises opinion. You either love it or you hate it, and I thought it was a really great one. So, I mean, this was one that I bought back in the day. It came out a lot later than the graphics would make you think. It would, you know, looking at them, you'd think, oh, this is quite an old one, but in fact, it came out in about 87, I think it came out, so 4 years after the original. And yeah, I think it's a really good game. I would give it I'd give it 8 out of 10. Maybe even a bit more, 8.5 out of 10. So yes, if you liked the original Forbidden Forest, then you definitely want to give this a try. If you fancy something a bit different, then again, this is worth trying. 8.5 out of 10, I think, is a pretty good score for it. So that's this review of Beyond the Forbidden Forest. See you at the next one.